What's up, y'all? Welcome back to an ESPN NFL 2K5 franchise run. I always want to say rebuild, but it's not a rebuild. It's Tampa Bay, baby. It's episode 5 of the Tampa Bay series. We're off to play the Denver Broncos, trying to get right after just a tough loss against the Oakland Raiders, and we are off back home in Tampa Bay to face off with Jake Plummer, Jake the Snake, at an 85 overall. He's got 734 yards, 4 touchdowns, and just 1 interception so far through 3 games. Garrison Hurst, the vet, 12 years in the league, the Georgia Bulldog, has 149 yards, no touchdowns so far under his name. He's got a few receptions as well. Rod Smith and Ashley Lilly are both 85s overall. We gave Rod Smith the nod here for the video, I guess. And then on the line, we've got Tom Nalen, the vet, in his 11th year, is not as good of a pass blocker as he is a run blocker, but he is a solid anchor for that offensive line up the middle. And of course, we have the brother of Boss Bailey from the Lions universe, Champ Bailey, in his 6th season, also the Georgia Bulldog so far with just 5 tackles and 1 interception to his name. And then their second best player is John Lynch, the Hall of Famer, eventual Hall of Famer in his 12th year out of Stanford, 13 tackles so far for the Big Tree. Jason Elam out of Hawaii, 12 years in the league, still in 91 overall. It looks like he's 0 for 1 for field goals in 3 games, so we'll see if that affects the game at all. So we've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the Denver Broncos, and we're going to throw it right to the studio for one Chris Berman.
Hi there, I'm Chris Berman. Here we go on ESPN. If you had to draw up a blueprint for beautiful football weather, this has got to be it. Picture perfect autumn day for football. Some leaves outside the stadium. Dan, Peter, Susie, they're there to enjoy it. Denver Broncos, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's game time.
All right, y'all, welcome back to Tampa Bay, Florida. It's a gorgeous evening here in Florida. You can see these pineapple purple skies. Everything's going to be all right. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are looking to get right against the Denver Broncos. Tom Brady so far has thrown for 268 yards per game and has completed 61% of his passes. So even though it's not feeling like we're playing up to Tom Brady's standards so far, he is having himself a good season so far with these Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they are 2-1 going into the 4th game of the season. Garrison Hurst gets a great first run, and he's able to convert the first down on the second play of the drive. So right away, the veteran is doing some decent running in the backfield. Hurst takes the ball that time. This time he meets head first with Ian Gold. Only a 1-yard gain on the play. Plummer comes up throwing this time, looking for Rod Smith, is not able to complete the pass. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 9. Jake the Snake rolling back, finding Ashley Lilly, somehow threading the needle between what looked like Victor Green and Kelly over there on the right side. Great pass by Jake, and that's going to bring up a first down. Dangerous lob over the middle, going to no one. Lucky that wasn't intercepted. Throwing it back over the middle again. This one's going to be caught by I believe, the 3rd string wide receiver. I'm not totally sure who that is going off of the highlights, but Garrison Hurst is able to make the first down off of the nice little run there. Gets a 6 stiff arm onto Corals there. Brooks is able to clean up the tackle, but that's an 8-yard gain for Garrison Hurst. Hurst once again getting the carry, getting hit a little bit quicker this time. I believe that was McFarland in on the tackle. It's going to bring up a 3rd and inches situation, and once again, Garrison Hurst is able to break through the line and barely make it for the first down. Ian Gold in there for the tackle. I believe he is our leading tackler so far through this young season. Dropping back, finding Hurst on the flat. That's going to be a tackle by Barber, 2-yard gain by the Denver Broncos. Jake Plummer rolling out to his left side, searching, throwing over to his left side, and this one is intercepted by Rondé Barber. It looked like that one potentially bounced off of his knee pad, and then he was able to pick it up, but just like that, the momentum from the Denver Broncos has been stopped by Rondé Barber. You can see here the ball just kind of like misses the receiver, and Rondé Barber is able to pick up the interception after the initial deflection. So Tom Brady is going to take over right around the 12-yard line. He's got Keenan McCardell wide open. He makes the catch and takes the hit from Jason Sehorn. That's going to be a face mask call. So not only do we get the first down, we get a bunch of field position as well. That's going to be a full 15 yards, bringing us all the way up to the 49-yard line. On the edge of Denver territory, we look to throw, but we take a sack instead. John Mobley coming through the line absolutely untouched, makes the sack to push us back to a 2nd and 15. Brady throwing right, looking for a streaking receiver. Looks like he couldn't get past the coverage before making a way to the ball, so that's going to bring up a 3rd down. Brady, dangerous pass over the middle. I think maybe he didn't see John Lynch lurking over in the safety position, so that's going to be deflected, and just like that, after a great first play and a momentum-shifting penalty, we're punting this one right back away to the Denver Broncos. Champ Bailey's going to take a fair catch on this one, fields it at the 19-yard line. Jake is going to, he's going to attempt to come up throwing, and he's not going to get a chance because McFarland just slips right by the guard coverage and makes a sack for the Denver Broncos. I think that was a computer sack too, so we love to see that. Jake Plummer on the play action, throwing over the middle. Dangerous pass again. Almost intercepted by Smith in that free safety position, but it's going to be bobbled and dropped and still just come up with a 3rd down. And on the 3rd down, Rondé Barber continues to play really well, makes an awesome play on the ball. We were in cover 1 too, so that would have been really dangerous if that got by his coverage, but he was able to put a hand out and get a deflection on this. We get the punt close to midfield. We make a man miss. I believe this is Jones, our rookie wide receiver, making a good return, and we return to the 49-yard line. Now Gardner does not get a good block in front of him, ends up losing 3 yards on that sweep to the right side. Brady dropping back to pass, had Michael Clayton wide open on that right side, and it just bounces off of his shoulder pad. Incomplete. Brady dropping back again, throwing over the middle. Joey Galloway finally making a catch for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's going to be a big 1st down conversion. Now Brady rolling out to his left, somehow defines the rules of physics there and finds Galloway once again over the middle for the 1st down. We absolutely have to take a look at this one again. Brady rolling out to his left side under pressure, sees Mobley right there in front of him, decides to just kind of sling it there over the middle to Galloway, and Galloway gets his 2nd catch in 2 tries. We hand this one off to Mike Allstott, who puts his shoulder through John Lynch, makes him miss. Champ Bailey eventually makes the tackle, but we're going to go into the 2nd quarter with the score still tied at 0-0, but the Buccaneers are knocking at the door here inside of the red zone. Just about at the 17-yard line, Brady's going to drop back to pass, roll slightly left, drops it over the middle to Mike Allstott, and he drops the ball on contact. Could have been a touchdown, couldn't hold on to it. Brady, once again, looking for a touchdown. Could have been in the hands of his tight end, but that one's going to fall out with the contact. Brady looking to throw one more time. Did not see the defender over the middle there. Almost got it intercepted on the quick slants play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down on 3 misses in a row from Tom Brady. So Tom struggling a little bit in this one. A 9-play drive for 34 yards is going to put the first points on the board for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers via the field goal.
And we're set.
Coming in with the kickoff, Gramatica is going to kick this one to the end zone, but it is going to be returned here by the Denver Broncos. Tatum Bell, might have heard of him. We had him in the Miami series. May you rest in peace, Miami Dolphins series. Gets it about to the 21. Plummer finds Smith on that play. Kelly is able to catch him. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 2 on the 8-yard gain. Hurst gets the toss to the outside. Absolutely just loses me on that juke and converts for the 1st down. We've got a fullback carry this time, and Ian Gold is in there to get the tackle for the loss. Hurst once again going left, spinning right, loses me again, but is only going to get a couple of those yards back. New game. When you see the Peanuts, subscribe to Peanuts 24/7. Thanks for being here, everybody. Like the video, too, if you get a second to do that. Rolling out to the right, we get a toss to the right into a couple of Buccaneers defenders, but there's a flag on the play, and it's going to be a holding call on the Denver Broncos. So no matter what, they're going to be pushed back in some capacity, but we would rather get the punt than give them another chance to convert the 1st down. So the Broncos are going to punt this one away, and yet again, Jones has another chance to take some of that punt away via a return. He sprints off to the left, gets one decent block, and that's all he needs. The speed gets him to the Tampa Bay 37. Tom dropping back to pass on 1st down, looking around a little bit, wants to fire to a man over the middle. He had Michael Clayton, but that one is batted away at the line. Tom continues to struggle here in this first half of play. Brady rolling out to his right, trying to throw off of 1 foot, and we're going to take a moment to just kind of like show you how much he's struggling, because he's only completed 3 passes out of all the passes he's thrown, and he's like got 50 yards so far, and we're nearly halfway through the the second quarter. So Brady has not done a good job of finding the open man so far outside of a couple of passes, and that is another fine example of that. He misses his man, and we're going to have to punt this one away. It's a fair catch by Boss Bailey. Once again, the Broncos are really into going full blitz on the punts. And we get a reception here by Lily, and once again, what's new? Peanuts 24/7 missing tackles, and the sky being blue, nothing new under the sun. Hurst gets a little loose this time, is going to get over to the left side before he's tackled by Gold, and I believe that was Smith, maybe Barber over there, maybe Victor Green. I'm still getting used to these player names. I believe that's Shannon Sharp, Big Shay Shay, getting the reception there. Shannon is signed to the Broncos in this iteration of the universe. Shout out to the Steelers franchise where we signed Shannon Sharp as a tight end. He's been really good for us. That's a great catch by Ashley Lee to convert the first down. We've got a first down here at about midfield. Hurst is going to get the ball on the draw, bounces backwards, meets up with two Bucks defenders, but somehow still gets 2 yards out of it, so I guess better that than nothing. Plummer deciding to take this one himself, gets a hit from Kelly, still going to gain 5 yards. That's going to be a 3rd and 3 situation. We take the wrong direction on that run, but Derek Brooks very much so takes the correct direction, and we are able to stop that one before the first down line. Now there's a flag on the play. We're also going to fair catch this one at about the 13-yard line, but I don't remember what this flag is, so we're going to have to see. Yes, good thing we fair catched it because it was freaking clipping. My favorite penalty ever, but for some reason I feel like I need the crib points, so I don't want to turn it off. Luckily, it was clipping against Denver. Thinking about that later, I kind of stared at that for too long. I probably should have taken a farther 4th down as Tom Brady barely avoids getting sacked, running from his life from the bad pass protection. It just would have given us better field position as Brady finally finds a reception to Joey Galloway, hits his guy on the outside. It's going to be tackled out of bounds by John Lynch, but that's going to be a first down as we start to take towards the 2-minute warning. Brady dropping back, quick drop back, a little float, and I think McCardell was supposed to cut out there, and it was one of those situations where the cornerback bumped him back in, so Brady just threw essentially like a gimme lob to Jason Sehorn. I'm not sure how much easier you can make that reception for someone. So instead of throwing the ball to the outside of the field, we throw it to the inside of the field, exactly where the free safety is, and Jason Sehorn forces the interception and the turnover, and right away Ashley Lee makes a reception and fights his way past the marker for a first down. So now the Broncos are looking like they're in danger of scoring as we wind down in towards the end of the first half. Just about a minute to play, 2nd and 5 after that catch from Rod Smith. And that, again, Rondé Barber is balling today, dude. One-on-one coverage, and he has been an absolute wall. Plummer once again throws it up and is going to be incomplete. And we get a kick by Jason Elam here, and surprisingly, it's wide right. So Jason Elam, the 91 overall kicker, is 0 for 2 on his kick so far this season. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers take over with 1 minute on the clock. That is more than enough time for Tom Brady to operate. He drops back a little farther, finds his guy over the middle. That was Keenan McCardell. You can see we're coming up on 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. We do really need to work on that touchdown to interception ratio. As you know, I do have some issues with throwing interceptions as we find Keenan McCardell. He's getting loose. He gets past Jason Sehorn barely, but then he gets hit with the shoestring tackle, but we are able to take our first time out, 30 seconds to get ourselves into the end zone. Brady dropping back, staying in the pocket, finds Dilger wide open over the middle. He's going to make the reception. He's going to get past the first down line, and we're going to take the timeout. We've got 25 seconds to get ourselves into the end zone. Tom looking to throw, wanted Clayton on the out route, and once again, our guy did not run the route we wanted. Brady looking to the outside, has Allstott, had a block, but he can't get by the second tackle, and that's going to make us take our final timeout. With 17 seconds to go, we drop back one more time. We're looking around. We don't get the pass protection, and Tom Brady takes the sack as time starts to wind down on the second half. You can see here the pass protection just almost immediately broke down. 3 Denver Broncos defenders were on us, and we are able to sprint Martin Gramatica onto the field to squeak the field goal through. That might not be the most realistic thing. I don't think you can get a field goal set up in 13 seconds, but whatever, we are up 6-0 as we head into halftime. Now, checking out these halftime stats, I think something that really jumps out at me, like, yeah, we have 133 yards, but it feels like we haven't passed the ball that well. We have 8 yards on the ground. That feels ridiculous, and you're going to see a stat pop up here that immediately makes me change what I'm doing gameplay-wise. And so one thing about Tom Brady, hopefully, that we're going to editorialize, as Keenan McCardell is our halftime hero with 3 receptions for 81 yards, is that I think Tom, and again, I'm editorializing about the Tom Brady in this video game, is good enough of a field general to realize that maybe the game plan is not working as originally intended, and we need to change the game plan. Now, the defense is doing their part. Our offense is not doing their punt, field goal, punt, interception, field goal. Not going to do it for a Tom Brady-led offense. Now, one thing that I want to point out is that, 8 yards on the ground, not going to do it. So immediately come out, run the ball with Mike Allstott, do a little fake handoff pass. And this is the thing that I wanted to call out, because as soon as I saw that we'd only run the ball 4 times and we had passed it 21, I was like, oh God, okay, I guess we got to switch up the game plan here. So we give the ball to Mike Allstott again, and he gets plenty of yards for the first down. Great blocking by our line there. Tom dropping back, throwing it over the middle to McCardell, who does continue into the second half of the reception, and that's going to bring down a 2nd and 1. Now, despite Tom not playing the best, he's had 2 receivers do a pretty good job. McCardell's 4 for 90, and Galloway is 3 for 41. 2nd and 1 situation, and you guessed it, we're going with the run. This time, Charlie Gardner is going to avoid the first line of tacklers, get through into the secondary, forcing John Lynch to make the tackle. Tom dropping back, deep drop back, throwing it over to his left. It's going to be a screenplay for Mike Allstott, who manages to get out of one tackle and then takes the face mask to get us some bonus yards. Let's see if this one was an inadvertent or a full face mask. We're going to see just right now. I believe it was incidental, so we're going to get a first down and just 1 yard. And you know we're going back to the run game, because that's what's been working for us so far in this second half. Charlie Gardner gets past the line and then some. Going to bring up a first down. This time we're going to go Charlie on the shovel pass. He's going to take it in, but get stuck at about 3 yards of a gain. Just like working in some quote-unquote pass plays for Tom Brady there. That's going to be Allstott for another, I believe that's 6 yards, getting us up to the 2-yard line. And then Gardner's actually going to get stopped here right at the line by John Mobley. Great play by John Mobley, but we're not satisfied. Neither is Tom. And our general takes it himself on the QB sneak on 4th down. We're going to convert that one. And as we get under 3 minutes left with the 3rd quarter, we are searching for our first touchdown. That is not the best way to do it, though. We lose 3 yards on that behind the line pass to Mike Allstott, not able to break through the secondary quite yet. Now this one looks like it was going to be a pretty pass, but McCardell drops it on the contact, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and long situation. Brady dropping back, throwing left side, and the one thing I had to do was not throw an interception, and we would have put points on the board, and I throw an interception. This is an objectively bad decision. You can see John Mobley helping out with the coverage here. He was, I believe, covering Mike Allstott at first, but if you're going to... Yeah, I mean, that was supposed to go to Keenan McCardell, and we didn't even throw it close to where he was. So that's the 2nd time we've just, thrown a ball to where we thought the defender or the receiver was going to be, and it ends up going straight to the hands of the Denver Broncos. Luckily, we have an incredible defense. 2 runs later, and they've only made it 2 yards. Hurst taking the toss to the left side, but all we need is a tackle, and the tackle is what we get out of our free safety Smith. And just like that, we're going to get the ball back with time ticking down here in the 3rd quarter. The game is still, it's a rock fight. It's 6-0. The defenses are trying their best. Jones gets a great return here, getting all the way to the Denver 41, putting us in a prime position to do some damage. Gardner getting it out to the right side, saw the defender in front of him, cut back in, manages 5 yards. Brady dropping back, throwing over the middle, finds Clayton. It's going to be called a fumble on the catch. John Mobley is the one to pick it up. John Mobley's been everywhere, absolutely everywhere today. There is also a penalty called, I believe it's a holding call. Yeah, it's an offensive holding call as well, which the Broncos declined, but we are going to immediately challenge this one, because if you know anything about 2K5 is when you see a bang play like that and it's called a fumble, it's probably not a fumble. And luckily the ball hit the ground, so there's nothing I can, there is something I can do, which is challenge the play. And it turns out I am correct. So the call is overturned, It is not a fumble. The Denver Broncos did not take over, and we have a chance to convert the first down. Tom Brady dropping back on the 3rd, looking for Dilger over the middle, and it bounces off of his bricks for hands, and we essentially just wasted a challenge because we are just out of Martin Grammatica's range, and we go ahead and punt this one away. Luckily, though, it bounces out of bounds right about at the 7-yard line, so we're going to go ahead and put them deep in their own territory once again. Ian Gold making a great tackle on that first down. He's got 7 tackles, as you could kind of hear the announcer say. And we go into the 4th quarter, still a slow-scoring game. A lot of defense in this one as Ian Gold gets his 8th tackle of the contest, one of them being for a loss, bringing up a 3rd down. Beautiful play, honestly. Like, finds the guy open. I thought he had overthrown him for a second. Rod Smith with the wherewithal to turn and run for the first down, and the Broncos keep their drive alive. And at this point, like, first of all, great run by Hurst, getting a first down in one play. I believe that's like a 13 or 14-yard run right there. But, like, all they need is a touchdown, and this is literally their game. We see Ian Gold. I literally stopped here because I thought I had knocked him out of bounds, but I didn't knock him out of bounds, and he manages to take some extra yards here. So we're going to look at this one again. Mike Anderson coming off of the flat on the fullback position. Thought I had him here with Ian Gold. Usually after that first animation, he goes out of bounds, but luckily he steps out of bounds not too many yards after. So Jake Plummer has finally broken 100 yards here with just under 7 minutes to go. He does no touchdowns. He does have an interception, though. Hurst just gets stuck by this defensive line. White, the backup, I believe that's the backup defensive end, comes through and makes the play. So good job by White. Plummer throwing a dangerous one, and this one is going to be intercepted. Mario Edwards, one of our bench cornerbacks, making a strong case for him to be a guy that we consider in the secondary in the future. This guy's mostly a special teams guy, but he comes in nickel and dime situations, and you can see here he pulls off of his man, makes a super athletic over-the-head catch. Call him Willie Mays pretty much. And we get the ball back, and Mike Allstott is immediately going to work. Breaks through one tackle, puts a stiff arm into the second tackle, and that's going to be like a 15-yard gain, basically getting us in to Denver Broncos territory. Garner going to take this one to the left side, spins out of one tackle, and he has daylight. 20, 15, 10, hits the Jets. Champ Bailey can't get him, and Charlie Garner breaks through with a 51-yard touchdown run. We light up the boat, and we got to see this one more time. Now, Charlie Garner gets that run to the left side. We immediately get great blocking by all of our guys, especially by Keenan McCardell right there, throwing that block on John Lynch, allowing Charlie to break out of that first tackle, and then he's able to use his pure speed to outrun Champ Bailey for the touchdown. So this was the floodgate that we needed. 2 plays, 67 yards, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have created some separation from their opponent with just under 5.5 minutes to play. Grammatica kicks this one off into the end zone. Tatum Bell is going to take it out of the end zone, meets a couple of Buccaneers defenders, and it's at about the 24-yard line. Now, as you can see, our defense has been brilliant. Now, these covers the last drive since before half: punt, missed field goal, punt, and an interception. We have not allowed any sort of momentum from this offense, and hopefully we can do the same heading into the rest of this game. We do a great job right there. Making the tackle right after the catch was Kelly. Now, Plummer clearly over the line there as he throws this one. That's without a shadow of a doubt. So I don't even think they're going to challenge this one. They're just going to keep it pushing and move on, because that was definitely an illegal forward pass over the line. So I believe that is a 5-yard penalty and a 3rd down. And we're going to go for it one more time. Looking for a little pass rush here. We're not really getting it. Plummer, plenty of time to throw. Looking for, I don't even know who that is, 17 over on the left side, but he's going to get the old bailout. He's getting the old bailout from the referees. The script is in full force, and the Buccaneers are going to get a fresh set of first downs. Plummer missing his guy over on the right side there. That's going to bring up a 2nd down. Plummer rolling over to the right side, looking for his guy again. I believe that's Rod Smith, not able to make the catch. That brings up a 3rd down. All passing situations right here. Plummer rolling out, throwing right, and that's Victor Green making a play on the ball, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Now, instead of punting it and trying to play some defense and getting the ball back, they decide to go for it on 4th down, and Plummer immediately throws into triple coverage. And so instead of punting the ball away and giving us a chance to not convert. They give us the ball, and we're already in Broncos territory. So Mike Allstott just puts his head down, makes a guy miss, just kind of ducking the tackle, and that's going to bring up a first down and then some. Now, this one was disappointing. We went for it here. This is actually supposed to be a screenplay, but I saw that Michael Clayton had one-on-one coverage, and he was past it, and he literally just bobbles the thing and drops it, which is super disappointing. But luckily, Charlie Gardner is able to get some blocks, gets a huge first down with that, or almost first down with that 9-yard gain, and that sets up Mike Allstott to rumble in for the touchdown. I don't even think we were really trying for the touchdown here, but apparently running to the left side is our bread and butter. It's allowed us to break off 2 big runs now. And Mike Allstott, I mean, like, he didn't even have to break a tackle there. He was just getting a couple blocks, and then, boom, the big guy rolls into the end zone. And just like that, we have blown this one open in the fourth quarter. We started the fourth quarter, it was only 6-0, and now it is 20-0. This feels like deja vu. Gramatica kicks it back off towards the end zone, not quite going to make it all the way to the end zone, which means Tatum Bell is definitely going to get a return on this one. Breaks a tackle over to the right side, almost breaks a second tackle. He's going to get this one all the way up to the 36-yard line. Now Plummer coming out in throwing situations all day. Once again, almost throws a pick six to Kelly. That would have truly been game over if that would have happened. Smith caught that one, but we make a great play with Ian Gold in order to force him to drop the ball. That's going to be a third down. Now that one is in Ashley Lalee's hands, but he is well out of bounds for this one, bringing up yet another fourth down try for them. He hits his receiver, I believe that's Lalee, and once again Lalee drops the ball on the contact. That was Mario Edwards this time. So not only is Mario Edwards making big interceptions, he's making big plays in the secondary as well. Now, this is essentially garbage time as Charlie Gardner runs up the middle and gets no gain there. We're essentially trying to run the clock at this point as we run a little shovel pass there in order to get a 9-yarder for Charlie Gardner. We go back to Charlie again, who once again breaks out of a couple of tackles and is just refusing to go down. We're inside of the two-minute warning, so that means the computer is going to start taking timeouts. Allstott throws a serious shoulder into Jason Sehorn, and so serious, Jason Sehorn goes down with an injury. So we wish him all the best, hope he's okay, but he is going to be out for the remainder of the game, and that gives Charlie Gardner another chance to take a run to the outside. Our outside running has been working, but then again, our inside running has been working pretty well as well. So, this is, I'm going to blame the Broncos for getting the score run up on them here, because if the computer was programmed to not call timeouts and acknowledge that the game is over when it's a blowout, like, I'll give the EA games that, like, at least they do that. You can put in your secondary team, but if you're going to call timeouts and try and stage a comeback, I'm going to put the ball in the end zone when you give me the opportunity. So Mike Allstott has 2 touchdowns on the ground. Charlie Gardner has 1 touchdown on the ground. They've combined at this point for probably at least 120 yards on the ground. Now, if you remember, starting the second half, we only had 8 yards on the ground. So these adjustments that we made at halftime have made literally all of the difference in this game. Simeon Rice breaks through for the sack. That's going to force the Broncos to take their final timeout of the game. We're going for the sack, but they actually make the play here. So great pass there from Plummer to Lalee. They were not playing good offense on the pass, so it was kind of surprising to see a completed pass after that many misses. They're going to go with the no huddle, even though they're kind of taking their sweet time with it. They're going to throw to the right side. That's going to be incomplete. There is a flag on the play. I believe it is a holding call. That's correct. We got a hold on the right side tackle, number 72. That's going to bring up a first and 20, up and down ladders indeed. Now, that one I just couldn't believe. Just floats it in the middle of 3 defenders. 0 of our 3 defenders can make the play, and Ashley Lalee is able to break 100 yards on that run after the catch. So 1 minute left in the game. Clock is ticking. Plummer Drockman back to pass, throwing it over to the right side. Once again, this is a late flag on the play. Well, I'm kind of wondering what this one is, and it's going to be another hold on that same tackle. So we are user controlling Kenny Holmes here. It seems like that is too much for the right side tackle to handle. And you can kind of see it evidenced by the fact that we just slipped him right there really, really quickly. But we signed Kenny Holmes in free agency, and I've just been trying to get him some sort of play, and not much has been happening for him so far. Anyway, we get that reception to the right side. That's only going to be a 2-yard gain. Clock is ticking down past 40 seconds left. And I mean, the game's been over, but Kenny Holmes finally breaks through for that sack that's going to move them back a few more yards. 4th and 22, and that one is going to get tipped away, and we can finally bring in Brian Greasy, our kneel down specialist, and that is going to do it for this one. It was a rock fight for like the first 80% of the game, and then our run game specifically finally broke through a couple times. It was Charlie Gardner with that 51-yard run from midfield. It was Mike Allstott with a couple of great runs as well. And we're going to have to check out the stat box because we didn't really run that much more. But look at this, 181 rushing yards. That means we ran for over 170 yards in the second half. In no short help from Mike Allstott, our player of the game, 10 attempts, 85 yards. 2 touchdowns. Our run game was the answer here, so I'm really glad that we made that switch. As you can see, neither quarterback played very well. Tom as well. Both quarterbacks threw 2 interceptions and no touchdowns. Brady technically underthrew Plummer as well, but that was mostly garbage time. Gardner and Allstott combined for 89 and 85 each. Gardner with that 49-yard touchdown run as well. Keenan McCardell ended with 4 for 90. Galloway 3 for 41. Not the best day for our receiving core. There were a fair amount of drops as well. Ian Gold led the way with tackles with 8 in total. Kelly right behind him with 6. Kelly actually assisted on 4 tackles as well. Gold on 2 of those. The rest are Denver Broncos. Simeon Rice, McFarland, and Holmes all got sacks. Rondé Barber was the high pass defender of the day. He was absolutely balling back there, and he had an interception to his name, as well as Mario Edwards, Mobley, and Seahorn had the 2 interceptions for the Denver Broncos. So that's going to do it for this episode. If you don't remember, we've started doing SportsCenter at the beginning of the episode, so we're going to watch SportsCenter for this week at the beginning of the Saints episode. And if you enjoyed your time and you're still here, I'd really appreciate a like, a comment, or your subscription. Any of the 3 helps us out so much. But thank you so much just for being here and for watching, especially all the way to the end. So for Peanuts 24/7, we'll look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Tompa Bay.